Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast. My name is Michael Crosa. I'm here with Elaine Zambos, director of BNI Southeast Tennessee. We are recording in the beautiful Wavelength Studios in Chattanooga. Elaine, what's our topic today?
We're going to talk about giver's gain, and that it's farming and not hunting.
Farming and not hunting. All right. This episode of the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast is brought to you by Webive Digital Marketing. Do you need more sales and calls? I know you do. So Anton, Donnie, and America at Webive are the experts in local SEO, Google Business Optimization, and web design. An ideal referral for them would be a business owner who wants to take their online visibility up to the next level. So be sure to check the link in the show notes below or just go over to webive.com to see how they can help. Elaine, tell me why we should be farming and not hunting.
So when you think about hunting, right, we're going out for the kill.
Yeah.
Right? And let's go, let's do it. And we're shooting them, we're bagging them, and we're taking them home, right? Like that's very caveman-like, right?
Sure.
Like that's very, okay. But farming, when we farm, we are living for a lifetime. Yeah. When we're hunting, we're living for today. Yeah. Right? Okay. And so many times when somebody joins BNI, they get frustrated because they're like, I'm not getting a referral fast enough. I'm not making money fast enough. Right? And you're like, well, wait a minute. It's not fast enough. It's not going to happen that way because as a farmer, it takes time as you plant the seed until you get the crop, right? Mm-hmm. So first of all, you got to cultivate the land, right? Yeah. You got to fertilize the land. Yeah. Then you got to buy the seed, plant the seed, water it multiple times, water, right? Yeah. Water it, and then it starts to grow, right? Sometimes we got to do some pruning to cut it back, make sure it's going to grow properly. Once it grows, then we can harvest it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So in the book that Dr. Ivan Misner wrote, in the book Giver's Gain, there's a story in there about hunting versus farming, or farming versus hunting, farming. Yeah. And the story is about a Nebraska corn farmer, right? Okay. So I almost said Husker, but that's the sports team. That's the sports team, right? So the farmer who raises corn, which the story so resonates with me because being from Indiana, farm country. So it really resonates with me. And so in the story, the farmer has won the Nebraska State Fair several years in a row. Like it's a record-breaking number of years in a row that he has won it. And the TV announcers are just going crazy. Like, how in the world are you doing this? Do you have a secret seed that you use? And he said, yes, of course I do. And she goes, so that's what makes your corn better than everyone else's corn, because you have a secret seed that you only use. And he's like, no, I give my secret seed, or my corn seeds, I give my seeds to every farm around me. Every single farm around me gets the same corn, because as corn grows, it pollinates. And so if all the fields around me are pollinating good, and I'm in the middle, I'm going to be the best.
That's genius. I thought you were going to tell me he was giving his neighbors bad seeds or something like that.
No,
but that's
So there's so much to unravel in that story. Yeah. Right. So like how the farm continues to be good. Right. Right. But year after year, is because he is planting good seed around him. So think about our BNI chapter. Yeah. That's what we're doing in our chapters. Is we are surrounding ourselves with like-minded professional business people who all have the same goal, and that is success. And not only do they want success for themselves, but they want success of others. Yeah. And so the more successful all the people are around us, that's going to raise our level, because we become just like those people we spend the most time with, right? Yeah. So we are planting good seeds when we go to our chapter meeting, when we do our one-to-ones, when we're inviting visitors to our chapter. Like when we're doing all those things, we're becoming great farmers. Yeah. And so as people get more successful, we get more successful because, cream rises to the top. Yeah. And that's what happens inside of our BNI chapters. And that's part of the essence of Giver's Gain is, I want the people around me to be successful. How are those people around me going to be successful? By me helping them find business.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And that's, that's part of that's the number one reason people join BNI. When you ask people why they join BNI, like, oh, it's the relationships. And I'm like, you're lying. You're lying. You join for the money. You stay for the relationships.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, because then the money follows.
Right.
And so I always think about that when I walk into, a chapter meeting and I look around, and it just fills my heart to know that all these good seeds are helping pollinate each person in there. And, I don't know about you, but as a little girl growing up, my parents would say to me, hey, Elaine, be careful who you hang out with.
Yeah.
Because you will become like them, right? And so you don't want to hang out with the bad kids. You need to hang out with the good kids, because if you hang out with good kids, you're going to become a good kid.
Yeah.
If you hang out with bad kids, you become a bad kid.
Yeah.
Right. And you're probably going to say the same thing to little Carter. Like, be careful, be careful.
Right.
So,
choose your company. Yeah.
So when we think of farming, it's surrounding ourselves with like-minded people to help raise that elevation of success. Mm-hmm. But it's also the same with our referrals, is farming for referrals. Again, not just asking for transactions, but developing those relationships with people who can continually give you referrals. Because if you go into your chapter meeting, I've had people say this to me before, nobody in my chapter has done business with me. That's not a bad thing.
Right.
It's not a bad thing, because if you only did business with the people in your chapter, and then you've put a cap on how much money you can make.
Yeah.
You want to sell through your chapter.
Yeah.
You want to sell to the people they know.
Right.
To that 500, 1,000 contacts that they have in their cell phone. Yeah. If you do business with that person specifically in your chapter, then that's a bonus.
Sure. And and it's a one-time thing.
And it's a one-time, a one-time thing. That's transactional. So farming isn't transactional. Farming, we harvest the crop and we live off of it for the rest of the year, right?
Totally.
That's why people learn how to can and freeze and all the stuff, right?
Yeah, stuff that I got to do now that the garden's coming in.
Exactly. That's what it's about, is reaping the benefits of all of that hard work instead of just going out and making the kill.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say BNI is farming. It's not hunting. And it's, there's several layers to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I love that. That's a good story. I'm going to be using that.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
This episode is brought to you in honor of Be the Change Youth Initiative, a BNI member nonprofit empowering youth and reducing suicide rates by engaging them in community transformation. A good referral for Be the Change Youth Initiative would be businesses or community organizations who are passionate about involvement and engaging younger generations. You can find out more by going to BeTheChangeYI.com, which is linked in the show notes below. Well, Elaine, thank you so much. This has been another great episode of the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, then I hope you'll tell your chapter about it. Tell your friends, your business colleagues. Be sure to subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, all the reviews. All that stuff really does help. Helps us expand our network and get out to more earballs. So
earballs. There's a dad joke right there.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of, I'm a new dad. I love dad jokes.
All right. I have one for you.
Okay. Tell me.
What kind of fish do penguins catch at night?
I don't know.
Starfish.
Oh, man. All right. This is great. We'll see you next week on BNI Southeast Tennessee.